Welcome back to the Iwill podcast. Is your host Santiago Brito on another amazing episode, and I'm here accompanied by one of the most amazing entrepreneurs I ever met, and I let him introduce himself, Tony Aga.
How's it going, everybody? Tony, I got here. Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. I'm a little nervous, I'm on the other side of the mic. I'm always hosting it, and but grateful to be here, man. Thank you.
Man, thanks for coming. I think everybody when they start this off is like a little bit nervous. It's almost like you're in the spotlight, but you're not in the spotlight.
No, yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm the one that's always
Recording.
I'm the one that's asking the questions. Now that the questions are being asked to me, I'm sweating.
No, let's get right into it. So, how did you start your career in recording?
Man, it literally, my parents started doing they started doing the events and stuff when I was a kid, and as long as I can remember, I was like 14, 13 years old, and I used to go to these quinceañeras, and I used to go with my folks to help them out and stuff, and obviously they would give me like $100 here, $50 here, and I've always been like that. I've always figured a way to make some money, cutting lawns, washing cars, giving my aunts rides to go cash your checks, just because they didn't have a license at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing that since I was around 14 years old, and I'm still doing it. I'm 32, so I've been recording and taking photos, and I also paint. That's a trade that I have. That also, my dad's been a painter for 30 plus years, and I've been painting since I was 18. Worked for a company, and I just quit after 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And went on your own, I think. That's what.
Yeah, I just started my own painting company. It's a small painting company, but I mean, we stay busy. It's me, and I got a couple guys. I have a bunch of subcontractors that help me out, and
it grows.
It grows. And then recently we just started a podcast, and about, was it like November? So we're not even a year in.
Yeah.
Had a couple of guests, which that was like, out of the photography productions company and out of the painting company, that was like the more stressful one, because you have to be behind, you have to be in front of the camera, and I'm always used to being behind the camera. And even me and my wife trying to do it was just like this. We're both nervous. I have footage of me and her like pretend asking us questions, and I have footage of us like just testing out the mics, and me and her were like nervous, and I was like, look, we gotta do this. And it's always been a dream of mine to do a podcast, and now for me to be a guest on someone else's podcast is mind blowing. Like I'm literally starstruck. I don't know that's if I'm showing it, but I'm starstruck.
No, but thank you. Like when I first ran across your page,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm an entrepreneur. I know you've been an entrepreneur your whole life. I've been working since I was 13, 14 in my stepfather's store, filling up the store with bottles. So I've always had a job. But one thing that I admired about you is that I seen like you working and like what I like is that you follow your story. Like your story is a live story. So we're watching you grow as you go.
Sorry.
And one of the things that I admire was, I remember you put one day like, man, I think I'm gonna just quit my job. And I think I wrote to you and I was like, do it.
Yeah,
I was like, do it.
Yeah,
do it. Go for
it.
it. You got this. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that if they believe in themselves, how you do, how I do, like you can accomplish anything. Like
Of course.
nothing really stops you. And I'm sure now you live, you probably work more, but you live a better life.
I do work a lot more. Like I was just telling them, I was like, man, I guess I had a long day. I was like, man, I had so much work yesterday, and that's a good thing. I said, I know, but it's just like multiple things. Like I got three, the podcast, I see it as a business now because I'm spending money on it.
Yeah.
I think I only made like $7 on it.
Yeah.
It's only made $7 on it.
It starts like that.
Yeah, but I think I'm already spent I'm almost at like $5 grand.
Wow,
Yeah,
invested.
And I have not made. Yeah, I have not made a dime.
But it comes back.
Yeah.
It comes back. I know it does. Like when I started this, it was for like what I went through, and I just felt like there was nobody out there like me.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things when I woke up in the hospital. I told my mom like, hey, like I'm on social media, and I'm like, I don't see anybody like me. Like she was like, what do you mean? I was like, like that's like me, like still hustling, like still trying to get to it, like I didn't allow it to sit me, like it sat me down, of course. But I didn't allow it to like sit me down. So I was like, man, like sometimes we don't realize the role that role models play in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom told me something that like changed everything for me, because she said, you have to be that person.
Yes, sir.
So all I try to do is like read as much as I can, gain as much information. I reach out to the top hustlers out there like you,
Oh, thank you, man.
who are also like pushing through because I think we need that in our society. There's not a lot of people that's trying to get that going out here.
No, and like once again, like we met on social media, we met on Facebook, and I think this is like the first time we're actually
this is the first time we meet in person.
The first time we meet in person. And I think we just had like 2 phone calls recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're total strangers, you know, till this day. But like we've been in touch on social media, on Facebook. He's always reaching out. Super humble guy.
Thank you.
You know, and I, you know, because you have your own realtor.
Yeah. My own realtor.
You stay busy, man.
Yeah, yo.
You stay busy.
I don't know how I keep up. That's how I know what you're saying. Like I got full days. I'm up at 5:30.
Even to do this show, it was kind of like our schedule.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah, we
and
had
they were doing construction here, and it was like. But I think that's the entrepreneur life.
Yeah, of course, and that's one thing is like. If I have, like you were telling me, you get about an hour of your day, you know,
for yourself. For myself.
Which is dope, which I do that, you know, sometimes I go fishing, but sometimes just to go out there and get some alone time. So my alone time, I always have my family, you know, which is cool and everything. I feel like family's important, but sometimes
super important.
Yeah, but sometimes your mental health, you know, sometimes you just gotta take some alone.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's why I do the hour.
Yes.
Like my family, I have family time, even that scheduled.
Yeah.
But like when it's my hour, I can walk out, I can go for a drive, listening to music, I can go get coffee.
This is my hour.
This is my hour.
Yeah, I was babysitting at the house. My kids are still home from summer, so I was watching them. And they're like, "Where you going now?" I'm gonna do a podcast. Like, they're like, because my wife, she's my co-host.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're not gonna take mom?" I said, "No, I got invited." They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be on someone else's."
You should have brought it.
Man, she's at work. She's at work. And no, she was happy. She was telling me she was like, "Oh, I'm so happy." And you know, it's just I've been invited on another pod.
Yeah.
But they just never got back to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was, oh man, I don't even know the name of their pod. Oh yeah, I do. But I don't want to. I'm not gonna say their pod. But I got invited on another pod, but same thing. I guess they didn't follow up. I don't know what happened. But so when you reached out, man, I was starstruck, man. I was happy.
Nah, of course, you're one of the greats out here, man.
And you know what? And the thing is that I'm pretty sure you've seen me on your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my stories are like, that's how a lot of people know of us, because of my stories.
You document everything. I wish I could get there where I'm documenting everything, but like, sometimes I'll be like, damn, this was good content.
I know.
But it's a moment.
And I didn't know my stories were like that. Like, I didn't think my stories like matter, you know, because they're like mini vlogs, right?
They are.
Mini vlogs. So I didn't really think much of it, but everyone just started reaching out to me, random people, like, hey, I love your story. Hey, I love, like, people I've never, till this day, I have people I've never met that, like, I love your family, because I always do post my wife and my kids, which I feel like a lot of people have that against, like, not posting their kids and stuff. But my thing is, like, dude, if someone knows you, they're going to find out.
They're going to find out your kids.
You know.
I'll be honest, I don't post my kids.
No, I get it. It's not, it is scary, though.
But you know what? Like, the reason I don't do it is because of a past life, you know, and a past way of thinking.
Yes.
But like, we're in 2023, like, it's like you said, if somebody wants to know where your kids are.
You know why I started posting, like, you know I kind of do post my kids. Sometimes I'm like, no, I shouldn't post them on, obviously I don't post the school they go to, or, you know, like, but same thing is like, someone's going to find out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I look up a lot, you know, shout out to The Rock.
Shout out to The Rock.
Yeah, shout out to The Rock. He posts his daughters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if he posts his daughters and he's big up there, then I'm gonna post. You know, I always say, what would The Rock do?
What would The Rock do?
What would The Rock do? I literally, I look for him, like, and for instance, like something that I take for example for him is that he's always with his family. He's always working. He's never out in the nightlife.
Yeah.
He's never out at the bars. He's never like. It's either he's working his family or his career, whatever it is. So that's something like I take him as like, you know, a big example, someone that I look up to. I'm like, look, I get invited to go to the club a lot, which I hate. I hate going to the clubs. I hate it.
What do you go? You call it the baile?
The bailes, yeah. And then, I just nothing against clubs. It's just, I feel like I'm a homebody. I'd rather be home.
Yeah.
I'd rather do this. I'd rather have a good dinner with some friends, a good little.
I always see you barbecue.
Yeah, I love to cook. So I hate going out, but I get invited all the time to go out. So I'm like, look, what would The Rock do?
What would The Rock do?
And he's at the home drinking, you know, Terramano.
Yeah, his tequila, he's eating the pancakes.
That's what I enjoy. That's the little things that I enjoy. And, you know, I just never, and also, I do a lot of events on the weekends, so I see a lot of violence.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want You know, I don't want to do that. You know, like I don't want to do that on my. Like, what do you want to do in your spare time? You want to go to the dance? Like, well, I want to. You know, I do that for a living. I don't. Wanna,
Yeah.
I want to be clear minded from that.
Like I used to go clubbing and everything before, like, but I think I've gotten to the point where I burned that out.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Like there was probably a time, maybe like a year ago, like when I first started to walk, I was like, man, I want to I want to go to the club.
Of course.
But I found myself so bored. Like
Exactly.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
Like it didn't feed me how it once fed me. Like it was like I guess I graduated.
That might, yeah. When I was younger, I kind of like, I want to see what's going on.
Yeah,
what's
let's
going
go to
on.
the club.
And I'm there, and I'm just like, man, I want to go home. I have videos that when I'm at the club, I'm just like yawning. I'm like, dude, right?
That's how I've been yawning in there.
And my wife hates it too.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife hates it. My wife hates the clubs. It's just, it's not our scene. You know, our scene is like, you know, we enjoy different things. Trying out a new restaurant or doing something with the kids, going to a new beach. But the club ain't my scene.
Man, I think I'm gonna take a page out of your chapter, like, because I'm there where I don't know what to do.
Yeah, man.
Like it's tough because of what happened to me, so I'm like gradually pushing my limits.
Of course.
But like I don't really hang out with friends like that. Like, and I'm like, man, what should I do? Like, and I'll be so focused on the business, and like trying to do so many things, but like I don't have the, you know, like the time, like I don't make time to do those things.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I see you do it all the time, and I was telling myself, like, man, I gotta.
At least one day. One day.
The other day I woke up and I drove to the beach by myself.
Okay.
Like I don't know what was going on. Like I just was like, let me just go. I needed like to see the water, to touch it, like you know, and because it's very different now. Like it's like everything is a little bit of a challenge for me.
Yeah, no, and I totally understand it. You know, but changing the scenery changes your mindset.
It does.
And you know, Saturday, there was this big concert. This big group that came out here to Tampa.
Oh, of course, I was supposed to go.
For Saturday?
Yeah, I was supposed to go.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I was trying to support your show.
JLP.
Me and my wife, that's like something we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because we're big fans of the music since like their first songs ever. Not now that they're trending, but when they were popping up, when they were coming up, I was a big fan. So my wife was like, well, you know, we haven't spent time with the kids.
Yeah.
I've been working like 12 hours a day, 15. Even when I get home, I'm still working.
You're still working.
So I was like, and the kids just being at the house. I was like, man, let's just take them out. Let's take them out. Let's dedicate Saturday to them. It's gonna be their day, and then I'm just gonna stay off social media. So I was, dude, sure enough, everyone and their mama was at the concert, bro.
Yo, I saw it. I saw the pictures. I was like, yo.
All my friends were there, and
I slacked on the tickets, but it's because my girl had like an emergency surgery, like her appendix.
oh my god, is she okay?
No, this was when the tickets came out for Fuerza Regida. So I remember she was in the hospital bed, like drugged up, and I'm like, babe, you think I should get the tickets? And she's like, oh, we'll talk about it right now, and I forgot about it.
Yeah. They're pricey.
Yeah.
They're pricey, and then you know another thing too is like even that's something that I tell a lot of people. You know, once you start making extra income, any extra side money that you're making, you know, besides your 9 to 5, any kind of extra income, be super careful how you use your money. Some people like make extra income, and then by the end of the month they have nothing. So that's another thing that's like me and my wife do have, you know, some other ways of extra income, but we budget. And you know, right now kids are going back to school, and I got 4.
I saw you today. You was like going school shopping.
That was crazy. Oh, man. I spent so much money, but they're a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
But still, like I was telling my wife, look, we can go to the concert, we can go to the school, and we can take the kids out. But I'm like, dude, you know, one of them got to get.
One of them get it next.
And it had to be the one I wanted to do. Obviously, but it's cool. I mean, they're my babies, man. Gotta do everything for them. But
it's super important.
But yeah, man. No, I love and I see, you know, all your work that you do. And every time you post a home, right, dude, you have like this huge paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like.
But it's like branding. I learned.
Yes.
Like I'll see people who tell me, "Hey, you're the guy who does this." When I first started it, I didn't see nobody else like being detailed.
No.
Like I see people just a beautiful house for sale, and I was like, man, I need to stand out from everybody else. and everybody's known me for what you just said.
Yeah,
They'd be
no,
like,
that's
"Oh,
how
he's
I
part
found
of
out
life."
about you because all you were like writing this big detailed information. Then I read it every single word. And you said, if you're interested in this house, please call. Then it gave me the reference number, right?
The reference
The
number,
reference number.
which as soon as he told me, I could find the
And I was
property.
like, Jesus. I was like, man. I was like, this is smart.
Yeah.
This is smart because not everyone does it.
Thank you.
Same thing with me, like with the mini vlogs and that, you know.
How did you get started? Like, there's a lot of people who are scared to get behind the camera.
Bro, I don't know, man.
You just grabbed the phone and you were
Yeah,
just...
you know, I'm gonna be honest. I did get started a couple years back. I was always shy, but sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I've always been that kid that was loud. But when Snapchat came out, I was like, man, I already have a Facebook. I already have Instagram. I don't want to do Snapchat.
I don't feel like that about social
I was like,
media.
Jesus. But my sister-in-laws, they were like in middle school, probably high school. And they were like, hey, we're gonna make you. They literally made me a Snapchat, and they're like, you can post video stories, and that's when I started like Snapchat.
To just vlog.
Yeah, I just started vlogging off Snap, and it became like an addiction. And I always like, even me coming in here, like I'm pushing my little, cause I came in my little wagon, and I was coming in with my little wagon, and I was like, oh look, man, I'm here. Then I was here, and you know, I just met, you know, Santiago and the manager, and I've been recording the building.
But it's good. Like I think a lot of people like fear that, like you say, like are shy about it. Like, oh, I don't want to.
But I am shy. Like right now, being behind the camera, I am shy. But the thing is, like sometimes my trick is I don't look at the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to like. I like to do videos, but like I want to try doing more vlogging. Like
Yeah, don't look at don't look at the.
Don't look at the lens.
I just be like this.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah.
this is how.
Yeah. That's why in every video I'm like this. I'm like, yeah. But it's good marketing because it has helped me get like painting jobs.
Of course.
You know, like yesterday I got a wedding because the girl, my client, the one that's getting married, she said, I put a post on Instagram and I asked who should I hire, and you're like the top one because I'm in everybody's phone.
Yeah.
I'm always constantly
Of course.
staying consistent. So that's how I got my podcast guests. I met a couple artists, you know, and I'm just hoping that I gotta be a little bit more consistent though.
Nah, you're super consistent. I think like that vlogging is all your marketing.
Yeah.
Because like I do the videos for real estate, and I get like people who wouldn't reach out to me who reach out to me.
Of course.
Like you know, like for me, like I know my demographic of people who buy and sell with me, but I noticed that when I started to do videos, it was like people were more like, hey, could I get some more information on this? And I was able to like speak to them because like video is I mean, me in front of it, like how you're doing it would probably build me more because that's really your like hub, like that's everything.
Yeah.
And I think you're really consistent. I don't think you're not consistent.
Yeah. And another thing I meant by that as well is that I make a lot of these stories and it's like, you know,
Acapella. Just...
Yeah, and then they're gone. You know.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is like probably I gotta like blog more on TikTok. So all the stories that I'm putting on social media, I should put them on TikTok and just do them like every day.
That's what I try to do. Like I try to post everything that I post on place, like everywhere.
Yeah, I think I just get a little lazy to do it because I
It's
post it on
tough.
IG and then it goes to automatic.
You gotta hire.
Yeah.
You gotta hire. That's it.
Yeah,
When
so-
it becomes a pain, they say you gotta hire.
Yeah, that's been. Well, so I have a cousin, and the last two guests that I had on my show, he's the one that like did the talking. He's the one that did everything. I was like, damn, I think I'm gonna hire him. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and he's good at marketing and stuff. So I was like, you know, because right now I'm doing a lot. Like literally before I came, I was doing hundreds of things, pushing my little wagon, you know, making videos. But how'd you get into real estate?
Man, real estate is an amazing story because my mom in like 2010, my mom, we used to, look how life is. I always watched HGTV with my mom since a kid.
Oh, wow.
Like every day, like this was the only thing I would watch with her. I didn't watch no news, none of that, Univision, none of that. We was watch HGTV. Nah, I used to be like, I don't want to listen to that, but she'd be like, Vamos a ver la casa, and she used to tell me, one day I'm gonna buy a house like this. Like, just, she used to always say it. And my mom had a house in DR and she lost it due to corruption in that country.
Yeah.
But one day she's like, oh, I'm going to Florida on vacation with my friend. And I was like, all right, Mom. She was like, go give me some money. I was like, sure. Well, she left. And she calls me. And I was like, what happened? Like, she calls me like late night, excited. And she's like, I'm buying a house. And I was like, Mom, like, think this through. I didn't know the process, you know. I'm like, what do you mean you're buying a house? Like, this how does this work? I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, listen, I went with my friend. She was buying a house and she didn't qualify. And the lady that was with her said, why you don't apply? Like out of nowhere. And she qualified for the loan and then she just needed 5K to seal the deal.
So that was her first house from Dion?
Yeah, this is her first house. Like,
beautiful.
not yeah, yo, her dream. And what really inspired me was that my mom, she gets a closing date. She's like, yo, I'm closing on the house today. I'm still like in shock. I haven't seen the house. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the air. So she's like, I'm going to Florida. She came first. I was hanging out. I was like, yo, after the club, I'm gonna go to Florida.
Yeah.
So I come pretty much a little bit hungover. But when we get there, like my mom is so ecstatic, like a kid. Like, like when you get something that you've been wanting like your whole life. Like my mom comes from real poverty. Like I've gone to where my mom grew up in DR. Her house was like metal ceilings, like 2 car, like like this was something that she's always wanted. And to see how she like I had to be the adult. Like, mom, hold on, let's read these papers.
Yes, of course.
Because I didn't know. Like, we were probably starting over our life. Yeah. So I was like, like, hold on. But the realtor guy that was there, he was really cool. He was young.
Okay.
So I got to talking to him, and I was like, man, and I loved the process of it. And my mom signed, and like seeing that experience was like magical for me. It was like
making something happen.
Yeah, it was like, wow, like I need to be a part of this. Like I was like, I think I'm gonna become a realtor.
You were passionate about it.
Yeah, I was just like I want to help people find a home, like especially our community. Like I'm born here in America, but my mom's from Dominican Republic. But like I feel like nobody teaches us about wealth or how to like invest in real estate.
Especially when you're a minority.
And it's tough when you hear it from somebody who's not Spanish, because they're like trying to explain something. You don't know if they're trying to sell you. But me, I do it from the heart, and it comes from that first experience. And at the same time, like when I'm sitting there with the guy, I'm looking at and I'm like, yo, this is how much you making today? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, man, I'm in the wrong business, I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. And how life works, I moved to Florida 3 years later, and New York City gives me a lawsuit. Like New York City was giving tickets to everybody almost like for a year. They give it to the wrong person. They filed a class action lawsuit. I received some letter, and they're like, hey, this is you. 1 year, I received 19 tickets. 1 year. And they were filling quotas. This was like a corrupt system.
Okay.
And they paid me $150 per ticket. And my girl, who's my girl now, her sister was a realtor, and I was like, hey, I should go to real estate school with this money. And my girl was like, go for it. And I went, and I was like, yo, this is for me. I'm going to go all the way. I got the license, and the rest is history.
Man, and so how long you been doing it for now?
About 7 to 8 years in real estate.
That's awesome.
And I love it. It's ups and downs, but there's no feeling like, helping people, our people, like, find a home.
It's a good business because it's a good asset.
It is.
Because that's never, that like you said, that goes up and that goes down on value.
It's your piggy bank, like if you're paying rent, you're giving it away. Like this is your piggy bank. Like a lot of us are taught to just pay things off, like my mom, I'll pay everything, keep your money. And I learned that in America, that's not the way to wealth. It's about using your credit and leveraging that. And that's what I do. Like anybody who's my client or has worked with me, I'll give lifetime service. Like I'm forever. You got my number. You can call me anything you need. No matter.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's my guaranteed lifetime service. And also, if you want to invest, I help. Because it's not only a few people. Everybody wants to become free, but nobody really is about information.
Of course.
So I've learned it from people who have helped build portfolios with a whole bunch of houses and rentals. And I'm like, hey, look, I could teach you how to do this on a smaller level. And it may be a headache or not a headache for you, but it's gonna free you up from working. So I also do that. But I love real estate. I've always watched HGTV, and I've probably seen a million houses now.
I love that show. I love it, and then especially when they have when they remodel a whole home. And
the brothers remodeling, the love it or listed. Like I used to always watch
the build up of it.
The build up of it.
It's a little similar to painting.
What's the name of your company? Like
Bluefin Painting. Yeah, shout out to Bluefin Painting. Call us.
Shout out to your
free estimates.
Yeah, free estimates.
And then, so we've been doing that, and at first I wasn't getting for the paint. Does your mom still have her house?
Yes, she does have her house.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I don't even tell how much equity she got in there because she spent the money. But she got a good deal. She paid really low back then.
So I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my dad, he's from Mexico. My family's from Mexico. I'm Mexican, but I was born here. I was born in Tampa, and I was raised in Lakeland my whole life. Excuse me. And so, anyways, my dad, he owns, my dad and my mom, about 7 homes
That's beautiful.
in Lakeland, like fully theirs.
Beautiful.
And
That's the way to freedom.
yeah, and they literally, they came, they don't know that much English still, but they were able to buy homes because my dad says, it was like in '93 he bought his first home. He said, I was in a newspaper. This is, some dude was selling his house. I wanted to check it out. Found the address. It's East Lakeland, and talked to them, and they gave him like a rent to own.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so he bought that one. He bought another home in '98, and he bought another one, and like now, like my brothers live in those homes, and like even, there was a time I was in one of those. We didn't pay rent,
Yeah, that's
so he was letting us live there.
that's the
free.
way to both. That's the
Yeah.
way that you.
And now it's like that. If you ever like, because there's times he started up a couple businesses. I'm like, he wants to start another business. I said, you can take out a nice little loan,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh maybe, but he's really strict on it just because he says, what if there's a family emergency? We should wait, and then we can probably sell the home. But yeah, he's never gonna sell. Man, I get calls every day.
Of course, realtors be on their job.
Like I get, hey, are you selling? Like, dude, I tell him on the phone first, because me and my dad have the same name, so I don't know how they do it, but they get.
They
my
find
number.
it. They find
my
it.
number. I got text saying, hey, are you willing to sell your property? And I'm like,
Cash
"No."
offers.
Cash offers. I'm not the owner. And then, like, sometimes they sneakily call me, and there's like an 863 number. So I'll pick up, and they'll be like, hey, you want to sell your home? I said, listen, it's not my home. And I'm just tell you right now, my dad's never gonna sell.
No, he's not.
It's three of us, and right now I think they're in a trust. So
That was super smart.
yeah. So if something was ever to happen, I guess he already figured out like
Yeah, they transfer to you
Yeah.
tax free.
yeah.
Tax free.
So but yeah, it's in a trust, and we didn't know about that.
That's beautiful.
We literally had to learn, like we literally, like you were saying, we literally teach ourselves for everything.
Yeah.
You got YouTube University. You got
Yeah,
TikTok.
you got YouTube, TikTok.
But I know a lot of people are like against it, but like I literally learned a lot of things from social media.
That's where I learned. Yo,
Yeah.
when I started the podcast,
Yeah.
I was asked. I think I asked you
Yeah,
before I
yeah,
started.
yeah, you said,
I was like, yo, I want to try to start the podcast. You gave me some good tips. I asked somebody else. They gave me some good tips. And then I was like, yo, let me just go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I saw one guy who was like, want to start a podcast? Step 1 to 100.
I was gonna say
And I just
yeah.
went on there and I bought the mic. I did it. And I just knew I had to say something. So I was like, I'm not going to ask anybody. I started on YouTube. I paid for the service. And I got on there.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. So I think you just like we started around the same time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what.
Yeah, because I
was
don't have
doing.
that long either with the
Yeah.
podcast.
No. I think I started in November, so this November we'll be here. But I didn't know what.
How many episodes you have out?
I think 14.
But yours are like longer form.
Yeah, they're like about an hour. I try to just do an hour.
I'm just doing like 8-minute episodes.
Oh really?
I probably have like 75 episodes.
Okay.
But they're 8 minutes. I have longer
Yeah.
ones, like when I have guests or I go on somebody's.
Yeah, so I think I have like 13. So I think I have 2 seasons.
Okay.
So my first season was 8 episodes, and I think my second. So they're like, oh, do it in this way, but I kind of just do it like per number as well. But yeah, they're tough. They're tough sometimes because I do everything myself. I shoot the pod. No, I have to communicate with the guests, figure out when they're able to come, shoot it, set up. Me and my wife have to set up everything. Go back home, import it, edit it, export it, promote it. Oh man, it's a lot.
It's a job.
Yeah,
It's a job.
I gotta make the thumbnails. I do everything.
Yo, I have to learn about thumbnails. I gotta get with you on that because I haven't learned.
I just showed myself a little bit. I'm not the best of it, but it kind of does give it more of
An attraction.
An attraction.
Yeah.
So it's more of like an eye, like a clip.
I was seeing Mr. Beast. He was saying that like before you even start with YouTube, like you want to have 100 thumbnails like that you can work off of to create videos.
Yeah, and then I had a bunch of friends telling me like, hey, you should stick to like one kind of catchy thumbnail so it can be like similar.
Like branding.
Yeah.
Branding. Yeah.
And at first I made like a pink one, then I made like a black one, then I made a black and red one. I'm like, shit. So I think I'm gonna stick to like black and red, kind of get my color. Same thing with my logo. I did my own logo. I just got some shirts made. Just to get shirts made, man, that was a process.
Yo, it is.
Yeah, it's a process.
I know a guy though. I know a guy.
Yeah, all right, you gotta hook me up,
Like
man.
it's a family. It's a family.
Yeah. It's a headache. I done made a couple shirts. It's just a lot. And then at first when I did the pod, I was like, I've always wanted to do one, but I never had the courage to do it. You know, because I'm not the best talker. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't, you know,
You're doing amazing right now.
and I'm nervous. That's why. But I'm not the best talker. So I told a compadre of mine. We call him my
Yeah.
compa, and I was like, hey man, I wanna do a pod, and you know, he's like, what's that? Because it was fairly new. Like, you know, podcasts, you know, Joe Rogan and all this. And shout out to Joe Rogan.
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
shout
Yeah,
out
I listen to
Joe.
his podcast
I know,
all the time,
God,
too.
man, I love that man. And I'll get see, I get into a rabbit hole. I get sidetracked quick. But listen, yeah. So I told my compadre, I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna start a podcast, and he's like, what's that? I said, oh, it's, you know, it's a format to talk to people. Back then they used to call it internet radio.
Internet radio.
You remember like XM?
Yeah, Sirius XM.
Yeah. So back then it wasn't considered like podcast.
Podcast,
So
yeah.
this is kind of new.
Yeah.
So I just like whatever. That was like 7 years ago. I never did it. And then my friend, he's an artist, and me and him can talk on the phone for hours. You know, we just talk. And he's like, you know what, we good, bro. He's like, have you ever started a podcast? Cause you can talk. And I was like, bro.
That's what it is. I tell people that all the
I was like,
time.
bro, I wanted to start one a couple years back. So he kind of like boosts me up, because that's sometimes what you need is someone
Yeah.
to like encourage you, give you a little bit of boost. You know, even if it's like one word, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, it will encourage someone. Doesn't matter who it is. So I told my wife, let's do it. And I kind of like, I started seeing a couple people doing it. And I was like, man, I want to do it. I
Yeah.
want to do it. I want to. I can show you videos and of stuff me and my wife like doing it. And she loves podcasting.
Okay.
She's really big into it. So I was like, look, let's do it. Because you can be my co-host. And we finally got to doing it. And I was like, man, no one's going to listen to this.
That's what I thought too.
No one's going to hear this. You know what? I'm doing it as for me.
That's what happened with me.
And now I got people, like, I got so many people requesting to be on. Which I want to get everyone on. Just give me some time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on it next.
He's going to be on. Yeah, I got to have you on. It's just, right now, it's kind of hard.
It is.
Because everybody wants to be on. And it's, you know, it's just me. Now, if I had like a whole system
Team,
of the
yeah,
team, I
yeah.
could get this one. But I'm doing everything right now from A to Z. So it's kind of hard. But if you guys want to sponsor. But yeah, so I started it. It's still doing its thing. I've done vlogs, which I haven't got that many views on it. I've done music videos. I haven't got a lot of views on it. My production company, it's okay, but it hasn't, like, you know. And so everyone's always saying, you gotta find your niche. You gotta find your niche. The pod is like,
So I gotta ask, where is it that you see, like, so I see you got like 8 balls in the air, right? Which one is the one you see yourself in the next 5-10 years, like just honing in on podcasting?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. Because I enjoy it.
I do.
love
I
it.
think this is like your diary. Like,
Yeah.
like when I
man.
started, it was just me having something to say and just like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care if nobody listens to it.
Of
Like,
course.
I just
It's
need to get it out.
therapeutic,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just need to get it out.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with the vlogs.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like doing the vlogs. I really enjoy it. But I just stopped doing like the big vlogs just because it was a lot of work, really time consuming. And then people weren't watching, so I'm like, man, I'm not gonna do that. And now I'm not the only one that's thinking like that. Like big YouTubers like Logan Paul, they don't vlog no more.
No.
A lot of people saying it didn't. It's dying down, but the format now is like they call it it's something to do with your brain. It's people are getting man, it's called
Shorter attention span.
short attention span.
Yeah.
Basically saying that like people don't want to sit there.
Yeah.
So like your 8-minute pause are freaking.
That's
small.
why I did him like that, because
Yeah.
I said, like, I was like, hey, you could be on the way to work. Hey, you want to pump this on 8
Yeah.
minutes, motivation, and keep going. Because like I like Joe Rogan. I always listen to his podcast, but I don't sit there and listen
Yeah.
through it. Like I'll watch like an hour and I'll get back to it.
You like the little clips.
And I love the clips.
Yeah.
That's on TikTok and,
Yeah.
like Instagram. Like I love the clip. That's where I got it from.
Yeah, I see a lot of clips, and those little clips work because I have a couple clips of my pod, but I see a lot of other clips, and they kind of like make me want to watch the whole show.
Yeah, they do. They're
Yeah.
inviting because those clips are like the highlights. Like
There's
you
marketing.
say a good point. That's like a thumbnail. The clips.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do. I've been thinking about doing like, cause my wife, she's at work still, and I'm thinking about in the mornings waking up doing a little something.
Do it.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to your mind.
But I'm gonna be like, wake up, the hell out of bed, you know, just
Do it.
jump out, just say something and scream in the audience ear.
We're in the era of like every individual has something to say. Like I always say that we're all living this life and it's like a big puzzle. And I feel like everybody has a piece of the puzzle.
Of course.
Maybe a piece you don't want. You get it like, I'm not trying to listen to that, but you know where to put that piece. But then there's somebody who might wake you up to something, and then you're like, oh wow, this piece fit right here perfectly.
No, perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Life is like a puzzle. Everybody has a piece, whichever piece fits for you. So that after the accident, I felt like I had something to say, but I've always had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, I'm studying this book about public speaking because I want to get into public speaking.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, like I want to like get out there and like inspire other people because like man, if I could do it, if I'm getting up every day, I don't make any excuses. I don't feel good every day, but I do my best to like get out there. And if I don't feel good, I still try to get out there. And like the podcast has really been therapeutic for me. It's been something that
It's been helping you out.
yeah, because I don't listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly, I never heard them in my podcast. But when I'm there and I'm able to express like the things that I'm saying, like I hit points. And even when I'm there, I'm able to figure things out in my mind. I read a lot of books, so like sometimes there'll be information that like will pop up again for me, and I'll be like, oh wow, like I need to share this with the people, and like healing is important because like we come from a society that is like just toughen up, keep it moving.
Of course.
And I've learned from experience in life that has never helped me, is hurt me because all those things that I've been like yeah, they'll start to come back on you.
Oh, of course it will.
As bigger demons, as bigger monsters, and then you're like like yo, what's going on? And there was probably like a month ago, like I broke down and I started to cry, and there's like this lady that I talked to, she's like a mentor, and I have reached out to her and she said, hey, you know what's happening? You need to make friends with your emotions.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? I never thought about it like that. She said, your whole life, when you're about to cry, you've told yourself, no, like keep a straight face. And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you need to let it out because those emotions are like little kids that just want your attention.
Yes.
That's all they want. They're like, hey, hey, and they want you to feel this. And once you felt that, you're able to like move forward because if you're able to feel pain, I'm a big believer of the joy. It's like a pendulum. It swings in the other way.
Of course.
You know.
But I mean, yeah, that's good that you're fine. Your mental health, you're finding how to figure it out. I mean, mine, it's because when you're in a Hispanic man,
Yeah.
you come in Hispanic culture, it's always like you gotta bottle that up.
Yeah, yo, always
And-
since a kid, my uncles I remember telling me, yo, somebody no lloran.
Yeah.
And you
That's
grow up
big.
with that and
Mhm.
it's not okay.
Yeah, no, it is true. And me, like, I used to just not ever, like, if I had an issue with my brothers or my mom or my dad or anything that, like, even, like, the simplest thing, if they told me, like, oh my God, it's just one little thing, that can affect you. They would have said, like, you need to stop doing this or something, and it can kind of affect you. Like, even if it's, like, in Mexican, we'll be like, that's pendejo,
Yeah, all right.
Someone can take that,
Exactly.
bottle it up, and it can affect them later. So my thing was like, oh man, I was like, I'll just grab like a drink, I'll grab a drink. I had a long day at work, I'll grab a drink. And then once I started drinking, I started getting to this point like I was letting all my emotions out. So I knew that wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
So I knew that wasn't healthy. Not saying that I don't have a drinking problem. But I'm saying is like, on a weekend, I had a long week, and if something bothered me on Monday, by that weekend when I had the drink, I kind of like took it out on my kids or my wife, not physically, but just like, hey dad, and I was like, no, I don't want to be bothered right now.
Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
It is.
I don't want to be bothered right now, I'm busy, and now it's like, now I speak more to my wife about, what I'm feeling, even like we had issues because we had an argument, she wouldn't say nothing, I wouldn't say nothing. And that's it. We won't even talk for like a day or so.
It'd be just a grudge.
Yeah, just be a grudge. But then I'll be like, babe, you need to talk to me, man. You gotta let me know how you feel, cause it's gonna, you're gonna get upset later, and it's gonna come up.
You bottle it up.
But yeah, I think your mental health, man, is super important. And I've been working on that a lot.
I was there with the drinking, and what ended up happening was that the drinking wasn't doing it for me anymore.
Mm-mm.
Like I would feel like shit, and that's when I said it's not the drinking. I got to face,
Yeah.
cause I was a full cup.
Mm-hmm.
My brother had passed away probably like 5 years ago. My oldest brother was like my best friend.
Sorry to hear about that, man.
Thank you. And I didn't know how to cry. Like it hurt so much, but like I just got drunk.
Yeah.
I smoked. I didn't know how to express it. And when I had the accident, man, like I cried for like a month straight. And I remember my mom coming to see me, and I would just cry. and she'll be like, let it out, let it out. And I was like, man, mom, I think I'm crying, even my brother's death, because I had bottled up so much. But I would be like a full cup, like the slightest thing, like you said, would like,
Yeah, any
would,
little thing.
would like throw me off, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, like, oh, I don't want to hear that, or you know. And it's because we were taught as Spanish men, oh no, cut that out. Don't know, boys don't
Even
cry.
my dad, bro. Even my dad, like, you know, even my dad and me, like, to this day, it's like, I've never said this, and no one knows this, just my wife. But like, to this day, like, all I'm trying to do, like, everything, everyone's, oh, you work too much. I'm like, yeah, because I'm just trying to make my dad happy. I'm trying to make him proud, because I wasn't the best kid growing up. I used to hang around with the wrongest people, and I used to get in trouble all the time, and I put my dad through hell. And my parents, I put both of them through hell. And now that I'm a father myself, I live in so much regret, like, man, everything I put them through, to this point, I put them through that because I couldn't talk to them.
Yeah.
Because I was terrified of my dad. I was scared. He's a good dad. Never beat the crap out of us, you know, but he was a yeller. He was a tough man.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember one time I got caught sneaking around with my girlfriend, and I started crying because I knew I got her in trouble. And he kind of like giggled. He laughed, and he's like, oh, it's okay. He's like, you should just make it official and bring her home, you know. But him and my brother kind of laughed at me.
Yeah.
And that's the household that I grew up. Like, you don't show emotions.
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, we're kind of just like, hey, you know, like, hey, Dad, how's it going? You know, I love you, Dad. He's like, I was like, yeah.
But I think that's amazing, because my mom grew up like that a little bit. Like, my mom grew up with her dad. My mom was straight masculine. Like, yeah, she had her boyfriend and everything, but my mom was super strict.
Yes.
And as we've gotten older, like, they say that once you know better, you do better. And
Of course.
I noticed that my mom wasn't somebody who, give me a hug. You know, like, she wouldn't be like, oh, love you, or... So I've started to initiate it, like, where I'm like, what's up, Mom? You know, give a hug, what's up?
That's exactly, dude, we're living in the same situation. Like,
Yeah.
My mom too, like, my mom never said, hey, guys, I love you. And
Yeah, it was...
But now with my kids, excuse me.
They love the grandkids. They love the grandkids.
Like my dad and my kids and my mom, they have like the best relationship. And sometimes I get a little jealous because I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
I got a meme there yo, I'm gonna show you the meme. Like, I got a meme that I found the other day that's super funny, because, yo, it's just about this conversation. Look at this meme right here. This is the truth. Look, it says, my mom as a grandmother is the Toy Story dinosaur. My mom as my mom is the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
That's true. That is true, because, like, my mom, like, the kids do whatever they want. Which I get kind of upset, because I'm like, Mom, you can't let them.
Then we gotta deal with them.
It's
true.
Yeah, you can't let them do what they want. But we're still, like, now it's like, I just look at my mom, I just hug her.
Yeah.
I look at my dad, I just hug him. I just lost my grandpa.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you, man. I lost him last month, and our family was close. He was my last. I lost my grandmother earlier this year, and then I lost my grandpa's wife.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I have no more grandparents.
Yeah.
All I have now, I told my wife, and I kind of got emotional, and I told my wife, I was like, I only have my parents, you know, like, that's it. I don't have anyone else. And a lot of people don't have both parents.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, you know. And I told my wife, I was like, I try to spend as much time as I can with my dad. My dad now is like, I look at him like, I love you, man. He literally just called me. Right now we're here. We have phone calls all the time, and I look at him for advice. And I always put sometimes, you know, I just put my pride aside.
Yeah.
I don't care about, you know, you can talk to me any way you want. You can, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna show you that same, you know.
Yeah.
I want to be close to you guys, but we've been working on our relationship, and but when you come from a Mexican household, man, it's different. You know, similar to the Dominican household, it's like, you gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Go work. Like, my summer breaks, I wasn't at summer like hanging out with my friends. I was like, oh, go do something, go work, don't be lazy. You know, like, it's always been pushed on us.
It has.
But
Like, I've always been ambitious, because my stepfather, I've seen him build like an empire, and I appreciate him a lot, because he didn't have to. You know, like, he was just my mom's boyfriend, but he was on the grind, and I love to grind.
yeah,
He gave me my first job. I seen him stash his money, grow it, and I seen him go from being barefoot to owning 3 buildings, and like, that's the example that I grew up watching. So Like I was always overly ambitious, and my mom would be like, you know, when we were really young, I was probably like 13, 12 years old, and I lived in New York, and New York is like fashion mecca where everybody has to. And I'm like, Mom, man, come on, like you buying me a pair of sneakers a year, like. And my mom, I remember, was like, son, that's all I can do, you
Oh,
know. She was on her own. I didn't have my stepfather at the time, and I was like, she was like, look, son, like you gotta just go out and get it.
exactly.
So I learned from then that whatever I wanted,
You
I
gotta
had
get
to
it
go out
yourself.
and
Yeah,
get
of
it.
course, yeah, of course, you got to.
And I loved it because to this day I still go out and get it. Like nobody has to be like, oh yo, go up and go to work. It's like, nah, like ain't nobody gonna do this for my family. Like I gotta go out and get it.
Yeah, no. I can relate, man. Like same thing with me. They used to buy us one pair of shoes, and I used to get made fun of at school.
Yo, me too. Like it was
And-
tough, man. Like
And my mom told me, "You want something? Same thing, go."
go.
So I had my first construction job at 14.
Wow.
Labor at a construction, but here in North Lakeland, doing some apartments. We were picking up all the trash. They used to give me like $400 a week.
Wow.
So I was able to buy like my stuff. But I only lasted 2 weeks because it was hard, man. It was hard.
$800.
But I made like $800. But still, man, it was like I bought everything for myself for 7th grade. I got me some forces, some new pants. I think back then it was like Echo pants.
Yo.
Yeah. So.
But those are the most amazing moments
Yeah.
because you start to believe in yourself more.
But now I take it for granted because it's like now that I'm a parent, she got me a pair of shoes. Excuse me. She got me a pair of shoes, and I should have been grateful because there's a lot of kids that can't even get a pair of shoes
Yeah.
from, and it's like I should have humbled. But that's the thing about America, man. Everybody's not humble out here, man.
Is that it's like what is it that in your home is like a different experience than when you're out in school.
Yeah.
Like I tell that to my kid's mom, like I'll be like, yo, it's vicious, them kids. Like you got one pair, your home life is like, okay, son, we're not doing too good.
Yeah.
But in school, yo, what's up with your man? Yo, what is he wearing?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, like like it made me have to go out there and get it. Like growing up in New York was like one pair a year. My friend's mom, I don't know what she does, but every week he had a new pair of sneakers.
Yes.
And he's like, yo, you still wearing those? And I was like, damn, like what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, my mom, they're not red. They're still good.
Yeah,
They're still good.
yeah, the same thing.
And my mom used to cut my hair.
Yeah, my mom too done cut my hair a few times. Yo,
She was a good, but
no shape up. No shape up.
She was just little bowl cut.
Bowl cut.
Hey man, what part of New York were you from?
So I grew up in Washington Heights for 15 years, and then I grew up in the Bronx for like 13 years. So I got a good experience of.
Can I tell you something? I've always wanted to live in New York.
New York is cool. Is just. You're really plugged in. Like when I moved to Florida, I loved it because I'm still ambitious, but I'm not plugged in. Like people in New York are plugged in. Like yo, when I first came down here in the last 20 years, the first time I sat and ate a meal was here. Like everything was on the go for me. It was like I don't know where I was going, but I had to go.
It's fast living.
And you see that with everybody. Like I talk to my sisters and my brothers that live there, and it's like, oh yeah, I gotta go here. I gotta go. Where you going? And then to go to bed, to wake up and do it again, and you're like in a rush. And I just got tired of it. Like I was drained.
Yeah.
It was like I ended up homeless, like just trying to keep up with this lifestyle. And I just was like, man, I need a new scenery. I don't think my goals are gonna change, but I just need a new scenery. And I just decided to come to Florida. And I rode bike to work. I worked at Walmart distribution. I used to get up at 3 a.m. and I would ride bike from my house to the job.
Wow.
For like a year and a half. Damn. So like I started the bottom again. Like
you got some good cardio though.
Oh man. And then I had to throw boxes. I was an order filler in Walmart. So I'm like getting in. And then when I leave, I gotta get back on that bike. And now it's the daytime. That sun is out.
You're a beat, man.
Yo.
Yeah, I've always wanted to live in New York, man. I've heard that it's really expensive, but I always wanted to, because this might sound kind of weird, but I don't care, but I used to love Friends.
The show?
The show. I love Friends because we didn't have cable TV.
Yeah.
So we only had like the local channels, like you put an antenna.
Yeah. I remember that.
So I used to love Friends and just the life that we're living. I, had that program in my mind. Also with Home Alone when he got lost in New York.
Yeah.
So everything was like the Big Apple.
Like I'm not. There's the things that I miss.
Yeah.
Like I miss the. It's like I tell my girl right now, like yo, we're gonna move closer to the city, and she's like, why? I was like, yo, I just need to be around people. Like here is like I got 2 neighbors. and I barely see them, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Over there, it was like I was always like interacting, and I was out, and I was like doing things, and it was like the friends show. Like there was a coffee shop, we would meet up there, we would meet up here, the pizzeria. I miss that. I do miss that. That's something that I miss.
I've never been.
Yeah, you gotta go visit.
I want to go. I want to go, but right now, like our schedule is just, man, it's.
No,
bad.
when you get a chance, when you get a chance.
But I heard, like I get mixed reviews. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. So it's like a mixed review with New York. A lot of people say it's too, cause see,
It is crowded.
It's crowded. That's like that's like the two things. It's crowded and it's expensive. That's what everyone tells.
That's
me.
a fact. That's a fact.
Everyone, and then everyone else be like, oh, we love it. I love
Bro,
the city.
1 bedroom right now is like 3,500.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I've been watching that on TikTok.
Like your income has to be 80K or more to get a 1 bedroom in New York. And I'm not talking about a nice neighborhood. I'm talking about like the hood.
Yeah, a lot of people from New York are moving down here.
I get it. Like a lot of people my age, like my friends, a lot of them have moved down here, and it's just the better quality of living. Florida is very family
Now it's
oriented.
getting bad here, bro. Florida's getting black, packed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't bought it. We're trying to buy a home next year. That's our goal. I'm gonna have to hit you up.
Claremont.
Claremont. Wow. I was trying to go to Polk City.
Polk City is like Claremont. The same
Yeah,
thing. It's
yeah.
the same areas, like where it's not crowded,
Yeah.
but it's like.
I want to buy land.
I like the hills. I like the hills.
Yeah, I want to buy. I like Claremont. I really like Claremont, but all our family's here, so I'm trying to keep my kids close to my parents.
So I like my mom and my girl's mom. Like the grandparents are here, but I want to live like right off 27. You get it? Like if I'm in Claremont, right off 27. Like, so like that's a 30-40 minute drive straight. Like I don't mind. Everything is far here. Like New York, it was like you go outside, the store's there, but here like go to Walmart is 15-20 minutes.
Yeah. That's me too. I want to live on I-4, right in Polk City.
Right there, that you could just go anywhere quickly and.
I want to get some goats, some cows.
You can, and you get like tax breaks on all that good stuff.
I want to get that. I seen some land out there. I seen about like 10 acres for like 80 grand.
You gotta do the research, man.
Yeah, I know. I was
like a lot of it here is wetland.
Wetland.
You can't build on it.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah, I need some advice because like a lot of the real estate is like crazy. Like I don't know a lot about it.
Hey, any advice, man? You can always call me, text me.
I kind of want to buy. I don't want to say it on. I'll tell you later after the podcast. I'm looking to buy something. Me and my parents been trying to buy a little something. I'm gonna say a project.
Okay.
But it's kind of hard to because we got to do everything like the right way.
Yeah.
So man, I was gonna tell you, how many kids you got, man?
So I have my son who lives in New York. He's 10 years old.
Okay.
And I have my daughter who's here. She's 3.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Man, so you got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Man, I got 4, man.
Woo! Like sometimes she'd be like, I want more kids, but like I feel like kids are a responsibility, and like what I admire about you is that you involve your kids in whatever you're doing. Me, it's kind of tough because like I'm doing the real estate like 24/7, and like I wouldn't have patience for my kids. I wouldn't like be able to do them at the same time because kids require like my son. He's coming down here. He's like, Dad, I want to be in the podcast. I was like, of course you're gonna be in the podcast. But like the real estate, I've taken him before, and it's tough. I gotta be like, yo, don't touch this, like And clients sometimes like. They don't want to be running around with your kid. Like,
No. I know, and I get it. Like us, my wife said, "You want to have another one?" And I was like, "Look, man."
I think maybe in like the next few years, when more investments have paid off, and like I'm gonna try to like buy my time back.
Okay.
Cause I want to be there for my kids. Like I don't want to just.
That's the most important. You want to spend time. Like right now, I can't even have another kid right now. Like too busy.
Yeah, like what I do with my daughter is like, I'll be busy, but like if my daughter comes, I'll stop what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll give her that attention.
Yeah, of course.
And Dad, I want to play, and I'll be like, all right.
You got to.
Go get the Barbies. Let's do this. Yeah. And I'm there. I don't judge it. We're playing, and you'll see her attention span go. She'll be like, just like.
Yeah.
Like she's just gone. She's just like, all right, that's it. We did it.
That's awesome, man. Family's beautiful. Like.
It's super important.
Yeah.
Like it's more important than I didn't really grow up with my mom and my dad, so it's like I see the mechanism in my mind where it's easy for me to be like, you know what, like I'll leave.
Yeah.
It's harder to stay, but it's worth more to stay because
of course.
What I went through made me realize how important family is. Like who I am today and the strength and everything is because of my family. You know, like that's my hub. That's.
Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, man, I know I never asked you, your accident. I mean, have you talked about it on the pod yet, or?
I haven't really spoke about it. You know, like I could just give you like the basics. Like I worked my ass off that year, man, and I bought a car that like I really wanted, and I had 15 days with the car, and I crashed
In 15 days?
15 days, and I wasn't speeding. The car caught fire, so I was burning alive. So I burned like 41% of my body.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, so I had both my legs amputated. I had 22 surgeries, 9 blood transfusions. I had skin grafts where they took skin from the top, put it on the legs. And then I lasted a year in a wheelchair, and I was still selling real estate from the hospital and from the wheelchair. And then I had to learn how to walk again. Then I learned how to drive, and the rest is history.
So you had a journey, man.
It was. It's been like a 3-year journey. That was in 2020, and it's been like 3 years of like rebuilding my life.
Oh man, listen, man. Like from what I see right now, bro, you're a hustler, man.
Thank you, man.
You're strong, man. You're strong. Like a lot of people, if anyone went through that situation, people just give up, man.
Yeah.
So many people
Don't
give
get me
up.
wrong. Like there's been times that I've felt like
I
that,
believe it, you know.
but whatever's in me, whatever God blessed me with, is like I could feel like that for a day, but when I wake up the next day, I'm like, we gotta get at it.
Yeah.
I had the car accident that changed my life, man. It was like, I could say it's a blessing from God. I don't really know, but from how everything happened, I should have died.
Man, but you look really happy, man. Every time I see you, like you're super happy. Even when you're doing your pods, you look happy. But like you said, like we can never know what you're going through.
I think it's just like I've always been like goofy, you could say. Like I like to joke, I like to laugh. Like I never really took life too serious. And I think everything happens for a reason.
Of course.
Like
man.
when I woke up, one of the things I told my mom is like, Mom, like when they told me everything, because I didn't know, I was high. Like they had me on all types of drugs. I was like, Mom, if I'm here, like somebody chose, because I was with my cousin in the car. Somebody chose us, like, because they were like, I was burning for like 15, 20 minutes in the car.
Jesus Christ, man.
Like I burned everything, like from my like mid-waist down, burned. I didn't lose my 2 feet because of the impact. They burned like completely. But I don't, I want to say something that I thank God I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Like they say, like when I spoke to psychologists in the hospital, they were like, hey, like your brain, when it knows something's going to happen, like it'll go into this autopilot where I don't remember anything. Like I just woke up in the hospital and they would say, yo, you had an accident. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like I had mad deals going on in real estate. Like my whole life was like taking off. I just bought the car. I was like, doing all these things. And then, boom, life happened.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. I know you get that probably a lot, man. But I mean, to see you here, sitting across from me and staying strong, man.
Thank you,
That's
man.
an inspiration to me because
Thank you.
If I was ever in a situation like that,
God forbid.
God forbid, man. It's like I wish that I can have as your strength. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not something easy. Like, do you feel, the reason that you've been fighting so much is for your family? Is that could that be a reason? Like you're having your kids and your wife. Is that something that keeps you going? Because it keeps me going. Because there's times I tell my wife, I said, if it wasn't for you or the kids, I'll give up.
I'll be honest. It is my kids and my girl and my mom and my family.
Driver,
It's like, I feel like I'm that warrior, and if I'm able, like, like I said it before, like it happened, but I'm happy it happened to me.
Yes, sir.
Because like it hurt. It wasn't something I wanted or expected, but I've been able to handle it. Like I've been able to carry it. Like not as. It hasn't been like this heavy weight where I'm not able to move past it. Like, and it's like I said, whatever is in me, I've always still got up. I got up. Like, like for that year I was in a wheelchair was one of the most humbling times for me, because people who are like us, like who are go, I was being told like no, like no, like no.
You're not used to that.
And like it's like a punch in the gut. Like on top of everything, it's like sit down, like sit down. And I was just like, come on, God, like, and like 2021 rolled around and they gave me the green light, and within a month I was walking.
You're strong, man.
Within a month I was like, nah, I will put on the legs every day. I was like, yo, I'm not staying in this fucking chair. Like, I appreciate you, wheelchair, you were amazing, but I need to just move, and I just started walking. And one night like within the first 2 months, like I went out with my girl, and she was like, "Oh, babe, I don't think I'm gonna be able to drive," and I didn't drink, and I was like, "We're not leaving the car here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive." She was like, "You think you can drive?" I was like, "Yo, I know I can drive."
You can drive.
Yeah, I was like, "I know I can drive." Like, and I got in the car and I drove like 40 minutes. And she was like, "Yo, how did you do it?" And I was like, "Yo, I knew I could drive. It was like nothing was stopping me, and it was things that I prayed for anyway. So I knew I had to take the leap. Like, it made me closer to God because the things that I prayed for is what made me take leaps. Like I went to get my pilot's license recently. I even flew planes. I did the video on Facebook. Like I wasn't supposed to even fly the plane. The guy was like, "You know what? I'm gonna give you the rings when I'm in the air." And I'm like, "Yo, hold on." Like I never. He said he already had taught me a few things. He's like, "Just try it."
Okay.
And I'm up there flying an airplane, and it hit me like wow, we're really limitless. Like, how am I here? Like, missing 2 feet, flying a fucking airplane right now. It was one of my goals in life too. Like, it's on my bucket list to get my pilot's license. So I'm working.
It's a blessing, man, that that you were able to overcome that, and even you had that fight.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. It's amazing sitting here talking to you, and for you to even speak on it. It's very.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We're about to wrap this up, but I wanted to ask you something that I try to ask everybody. Like,
of course.
What was an advice that you got in your life that made you just believe in everything you do?
Advice that I got, man.
It'd be like slight advices, man. Like,
I don't know if someone gave me this advice, but it's an advice that I heard from someone.
yeah.
And I'm kind of living by that right now. And he's a man, I forgot his name, but he's a big dude. He's out there.
The Rock?
No, not The Rock. He's another guy. He's actually the manager for Nelk Boys.
Okay.
Oh man, I forgot his name. Oh dude, I'm sorry, but he said, "Don't burn bridges. Doesn't matter what.
Doesn't matter what.
Don't burn bridges." He says the reason I've been here so long, because him and his brother they kind of do marketing.
Yeah.
Right now, he's a manager for the Nelk Boys, Full Send Podcast. He's like the CEO of it, and he's like, "I don't burn bridges." He said this on a podcast. "I don't burn bridges because you never know when you're gonna need something."
Yeah, I agree.
And I also like that advice. It wasn't given to me, but he was speaking to the audience, so I took it. And now it's like I have a lot of family members, a lot of friends that kind of stopped talking to us just because our life is constantly moving, so we don't have time to hang out with everyone.
Yeah.
But to this day, I have no grudge against no one.
Yeah.
Against no one, and that's another thing. An advice, even my mom, it's something related to what he said is, like, just forgive.
Yeah.
Forgive. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
Like, why say mad? Like, what's the point of being upset? What's the point of having that hate in your heart?
It's like drinking poison and expecting them to die.
Exactly.
It is.
So it's like I have family friends that stop talking to me. I still love them.
You love them?
From
Me
a
too.
distance.
I'm the same way.
Because I don't ever know. One day I might be in a situation, I'm gonna need some cheddar or something. But it's like that's one thing. Don't burn bridges.
Yeah.
Because
all right.
Move forward.
I think that's some great advice. You hear it now.
It's
from
weird.
One of the top
I
entrepreneurs.
it's weird. Like.
I get it. It is about longevity. That's
like I just quit my job. I was with the company for 13 years, and I just quit. I don't know. I literally text. I quit and I left. But to this day, I seen him. And hey, how's it going? And he waves back because I know that one day I'm gonna need something from him, or he's gonna need something from me, and just that's the best advice I can do is just forgive. Don't forget.
Yeah, no. You're not rebuilding relationships,
yes, sir.
But man, Tony, I got top entrepreneur out here, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate it. Man. No, soon I'm gonna go on his show. What's the name of your show?
Agarrido Podcast.
Agarrido Podcast. Shout out to Agarrido.
We're getting close to our year. I kind of want to do something big for our year anniversary.
I'm down. Let me know.
It's around November, so I kind of want to probably give out free turkeys or something.
We can do it. Let me know. I can help.
Yeah, it's gonna be around November, so I kind of want to give back to kind of probably feed our community.
I like that. I like that idea.
That's something I want to do instead of like celebrating.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to celebrate. I want to actually give back.
Yeah.
But man, listen, thank you for having me on, man. I had a great time. Thank you for coming,
man.
This was fun.
This was. You see behind the camera, you doing it.
you had the cameras and stuff. But hey, man, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And thank you for listening to the Iwill podcast.
Shout out to Iwill Podcast, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, man. One of the best podcasts out there in Florida right now, baby.
Thank you.
Ooh.